Hi Dandies, we're back. I am back. I'm feeling better. Thank you for all the concerns that were going through in the post when I was explaining why it's been nearly a month since we last posted. I am sorry. Between my health condition, Cutie being on holiday, and then unfortunately my nan being in hospital now, I've had a lot of things going on. Anyway, what's important is we're back, and I really do appreciate the patience that you've all been giving. But, naturally, I hope that anyone who is new to this channel or has stumbled across it, do subscribe. It really helps us. It helps us to help you. And we're still aiming to hit our 5,000 subscriber goal by the end of this year. Looking less and less likely, but let's stay optimistic. Anyway, this topic is not one that I have been advertising because it wasn't originally going to be one I was going to cover yet. But I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook that have been basically covering this topic, and I've been answering them every time I find them, which is, can I work in the UK if I have a health or medical condition? Well, of course it's a good question, but the answer is yes!
Say it again. Yes! Make me believe it! Yes, yes, yes!
Of course, it comes with a little asterisk, because there is a few little bits to work around. But that's why we make this video, so come with me as I tackle this latest episode. Let's go! So, of course, you're an overseas nurse, you're planning to come to the UK and you've got some sort of medical or health problem. Could be you've got diabetes, some sort of skin issue, some sort of blood-related disease. You could be missing an arm, you could be missing both arms, who knows? But point is, the UK is an equal opportunity recruiter. But what I mean is, they cannot discriminate based on something such as a health problem, as long as you meet the following criteria. You are able to perform your duties confidently. You are able to perform your duties competently. So, properly. And you are able to do your work safely. That is safely for you, safely for your colleagues, and more importantly, safely for your residents, service users, patients, whatever. But basically, of course, that comes with certain restrictions here and there. Example of this would be if you had, say, a hepatitis or, something that's blood related and can be transferred through blood or body contact. It will limit certain places where you can work on certain circumstances. I know it sounds complicated, but basically, things like operating theatres where, for lack of a better term, your patient is open and very easily able to contract something through you getting a scratch and it going inside them. You get what I mean? It's not safe. But there are ways around it. It could be that you have to have regular tests to make sure your viral load, or whatever you want to call it, is beneath a certain threshold. Or, most obvious one, being that nurses are everywhere in a hospital, be it staff nurses on wards, outpatients, specialist nurses, community nurses, whatever, they can just put you in a place where it's lower risk. Simple. So before you think, what if I can't work because of this, that, and the other? Well, it's fine. There's other places in a hospital they can put a nurse. The thing is, as long as you can perform your duties properly, even if you need a little bit of support, we'll get onto that, there's no reason you can't apply. If you do need a little bit of support, fine. They could be, regular chats with your line manager, just to make sure things are alright. Could be regular visits to occupational health, if you're in the hospital, for example. Or it could be that they give you a hand with other things, like, making sure you have your scans or whatever you may need to keep it going. Point is, when you do the interview, I know it's scary. I know you're going to be sat in the interview going, well, what if this illness means that I can't work and they don't like me? It doesn't work like that. If you have the courage, which is one of the conditions of being a nurse anyway, if you have the courage to ask in your interview about it and say, look, I have this condition. On a normal day, I'm fine. But every so often, I might need this, or it can do this. They can then turn to you and go, okay, we can always do this, that, and the other, ABC, whatever, to help support you to continue being a nurse and looking after patients, which is what you want to do, with that support in place to maintain your health. Simple. Point is, they will not discriminate you based on any form of health or medical condition. How can they? They have no idea how you got it. They're not going to jump to assumptions. Don't worry. Now, given that, of course, you have to make sure that you do tell them. I know you have to do health declarations anyway, but of course, if you tell them first, then you've already made it clear and open about it, which is a great trait to have. To be open and upfront about something like that with your employer, it just looks good. So I recommend you do it. The last thing you want is to hide it, which I have seen people talk about, where you say, don't tell them, hide it, won't be an issue. Of course, if you're then over here already, under false pretense, and they find out that the problem you've got is something that was already in place, and it's something they could have helped with, and something that may have affected the safety of you, your colleagues, or your patients, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. It can affect your visa. So, be honest. Don't be scared. Always ask. Always be clear. Because if you don't ask, then they can't offer you the support that you need to work long term. They want you to work. We want you to work. You want you to work. Strange way to word it. But you get my point. Anyway. And breathe. After all of that, I hope that has given you a little bit more reassurance, a little bit more support. We will be aiming to get videos back out again on a regular weekly, bi-monthly basis, depending on how we get on. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Do please ask us in the comments anything else you may have. I will answer all comments that are reasonable, of course. Do check out our Facebook group. I do check it daily, multiple times. And we've actually just hit 1,000 members on it, so woohoo! Thank you very much. But of course, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and we will see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now, dandies, and I apologise for all this weird neck nonsense that I'm doing. I just like to show off my neck works. Bye, guys.